Alright there, ladies and gentlemen, John Suitepee here with the final part of 1Monster.wads. And if I can, hopefully we'll be able to find... Oh great, it's not even saved. Well, that's just great. Okay, confession time. This is actually my second recording of this because this level, this final level, is really awkward. I'm not gonna lie. So, unfortunately I've lost my autosave, so we're gonna do things a little different. So this is the final level, the One God. I'd love to talk about this level, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The first thing to note is there's a time limit on the level. There's a time limit on the whole level. Basically, if you don't do the level quick enough, you get crushed by a voodoo dough. It's the same shit that was in Scythe, a Scythe level down the road. So, there you go. So just to keep that in mind, there's a time limit, and you have to adhere to it very quickly. So we're basically going to go for these traps. This one of them is like this. I'm also going to be using a cheat code because at this point I do have weapons, and I'm allowed to access them. I lost the save where I had all the weapons, so it's technically not cheating, as you will see why in a minute. Then you have to go through several traps. This one's pretty cool because you have to go through a bunch of lights, which is pretty cool. Very nice. If you fuck up once, you go through a teleport trap. Pretty stressful. Keep in mind it's a time limit. That's what happens if you do that. So yeah, I die, and that's very annoying. By the way, time limit. Just to mention, there's a time limit on the whole level. You can't slow down. You have to literally beat the level perfectly, get as much time as possible for getting to the boss. So as you can see, I'm going to make a bunch of saves. So I can't fuck this up because it's teleport. Gib trap. It's actually pretty cool. I like the idea of this one. It's pretty awesome how the lighting works in procedure. It's very nicely designed trap by Iker. Unfortunately, Iker fucked up the rest of the level, and yeah, this level sucks. I'm sorry, Iker. You should hang your head in shame. This is idiotic. You know, this is not a puzzle game. This is Doom. Okay, I can understand. Yeah, you want to make a unique ending. Fine. I'm okay with these kind of puzzles. Fine, but a timed puzzle run, timed, combined with the fact that, you know, there's traps like this which really slow you down because you can't really be affording to like step out of line. It's not like you can rush it conveniently. You can rush some of these if you know where to go, I guess. Fine. The pillar trap, yeah, you can do that totally, whatever. But you know, other stuff like, yeah, you see, do you get the idea, Iker? You do not make a puzzle wad where running is somewhat kind of productive. You know, like, it just defeats the whole point, you know. You're supposed to run, I get it, yeah. Run, okay, yeah, run. And we die, so whatever. You do not make a wad where... it's just stupid. It really is, you know. The idea is it's panic, yeah, I get that, fine. But you do not make it timed like this. You make a very lenient time limit. I mean, come on. People aren't going to figure this out first time. This is like the kind of thing that people are going to figure out maybe the 5th attempt or whatever. But, oh my god, this is just ridiculous. This level is stupid. I've actually raged so much at the first part that I just basically said I'm doing the video over again. I mean, part of it was because I didn't have my weapons out, and I do have weapons, you'll know it from the last part, so it's not like I'm under-equipped, and we're going to be making a bunch of saves. So I basically spent about 10 minutes raging, so I decided to do the decent thing and just edit that shit out, because, you know, you don't want to see me raging when I don't understand the trap. Okay, so this is the final bit, this is the final area, so I save here. And basically what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to press these switches on the side of the walls, it times to the Romero man, and you fire a rocket and he dies. The kicker is that you have to go to the other side and go for the crushers, and that's the One God. And that's it, that's the entire level. I mean, I'd like to do the first impressions thing, but honestly this level doesn't want you to have a first impressions other than run really fast, avoid my traps, do my puzzles, quick. I mean, admittedly, it's not as frustrating if you have the weapons, like, say. So, you know, that's one thing I raged at was the weaponry, but, you know, I remember this as a continuous run, so I have a rocket launcher, which shortens the time a bit. But I still don't like this level. The puzzle idea is great, but I don't think the execution is all that forgiving. You know, I mean, it's the kind of level where you're going to die a few times, a lot actually, figuring out how to get past them, and then you get past them. eventually. I mean, this is like my second recording of this, so yeah, that says it all. This is my second recording. I actually had to re-record my footage because I didn't like the first part of all the rage. I've not had to do that before. And this is coming from someone who's played Stalker on the first time and got angry, Paint the Town Red, Cyber SWAT. Oh my god. So, that's the One God. It's an interesting, gimmicky Icon of Sin level, but I fucking hate it. It's just... I just don't like it, personally. I just don't like all this rushing, you know, run around my awkward puzzles. But you have to figure out whether the trial and error. And that thing with the 7 doors is trial and error, by the way. You don't have any clue which door is the correct one. You have to guess. So, yeah. Fuck this level. This is a terrible way to end 1Monster.1. It absolutely is. It's despicable. Alright, so, and we're back. So then, time for some final thoughts on 1Monster.1, now that we've finished it in a rather brief and very anticlimactic note. Overall, 1Monster.1 is an interesting idea. It really showcases the strengths and weaknesses of having just one monster type on the map, and generally the strengths and weaknesses of the monsters of each monster in Doom in general. And I really like the idea of it, you know, all about one monster. Can you survive the one monster encounters, you know? I think 1Monster.1 has been is an interesting experiment in, you know, how do you design a level when you can only have one monster in it. And it's really a mixed bag. Like Bannerstuff said when he requested this in his playthrough of this, 1Monster really is a mixed bag. There's some good levels in here, there's some poor levels, and there's some really diabolically shocking levels, like the one we just saw, and Cyber SWAT. And maybe, arguably, the Musical Barbecue, but that was because I hate Artifacts. So, you know, overall, I think 1Monster has been an interesting playthrough. It's kind of interesting to be talking about the individual monsters, you know, to give me some perspective on how their strengths and weaknesses and stuff. And, you know, I've always been educational. I mean, I'm sorry this one perhaps wasn't as educational, but honestly, I couldn't really talk about it while doing the level because it's a fast level and you're supposed to rush and it's awkward. And there is a level like that on Scythe, which I'll be doing. At least I'll be prepared for that one. So, I think actually the levels with these guys, the shotgunners, were actually some of the best in the WOD. They were well designed. So surprisingly, I expected the hit scan levels to be the worst in 1Monster, but they weren't. Even the chain gun levels weren't that bad. Zuma was okay. And I expected these to be absolute train wrecks of levels, because chain gunners are annoying, but they're pretty good. I didn't mind them at all. The imp levels were kind of bland. They were meh. Infested was a good level. Not so sure about the others though. They were a bit meh. Spook House and all that. Not so great. And the Lost Soul level was okay. Cacophony. An endurance test. Maybe a bit too long, in my opinion, was Cacophony. Now night level. I don't really remember it. Don't remember yours either, really. Yours was a bit brief. It was okay, though. The Pen Elemental level was okay. Unnamed 1119, I think. It was alright. Wasn't too bad. The only encounter wasn't terrible either, even though I really hate Revenants. Mostly because you could dodge some of it. So, you know, it was alright. The Mikey Bye level was quite tricky. Surprisingly, had some interesting conveyor belt segments. The two Archviles levels were okay, I suppose. The Crucified Factory wasn't too bad. Musical Barbecue was a bit more frustrating, but could have been worse. The Triad of the Mines was an interesting gimmick level, a lot better than the one God was. I like Triad of the Mines. It was a pretty interesting take on it. I had no problems with that level. Yeah, fuck Cyber SWAT, that level was just awful. And there's us, brave old John Suitepee, fighting the forces of evil. But now you are put to rest, as is this playthrough. So, let me know your comments on 1monster.wads. What did you think were the good parts, the bad parts, the in-betweeny parts? Thanks to Baron of Stuff for requesting this wads. And I will catch you all next time for whenever Switcheroom gets released. As of this recording, it's still being bug tested as stuff. You can find the alpha version on the Doom World forums. And as soon as that comes out, I'll be let's playing that as the next Doom World of choice. Other than that, feel free to catch my Twitch streams of Nova the Birth and upcoming ones like the Doom World Mega Project, my continuation of Scythe, and I'll catch you all next time for some more Doom. Hope you've enjoyed 1Monster, for better or for worse.